Tonight on 2020, John Stossel and Elizabeth Vargas have the evening off. And now, Barbara Walters.
From the moment we're born, our gender identity is no secret. We're either a boy or a girl. Gender organizes our world into pink or blue. As we grow up, most of us naturally fit into our gender roles. Girls wear dresses and play with dolls. For boys, it's pants and trucks. But for some children, what's between their legs doesn't match what's between their ears. They insist they were born into the wrong body. This 17-year-old boy is biologically a girl.
It seems nature had played a cruel joke on me. Of all the horrible things that could have happened to me, why this one?
This 10-year-old boy lives as a girl.
You know the word transgender. What does it mean?
A gender that wants to be the other one.
Is that you?
Yes.
And yes, this 6-year-old girl was born a boy.
We'll say things like, God made you special, because there aren't very many little girls out there that have a penis.
They are transgender children, diagnosed with gender identity disorder. Their parents insist this is not a phase.
A phase is called a phase because it is just that. It ends. And this is not ending. This is just getting stronger.
Did he tell you it was gonna
My
hurt?
child is a boy. It's not my fault that he was born transgender, and it's not his fault.
I've never known someone as brave as this child, to face the world every day wondering who knows her secret and who doesn't.
Most transgender children still live in the shadows, hiding from a world that sees them as freaks of nature. Rejected by their families, many grow up hating their bodies, falling victim to high rates of depression, drug abuse, violence, and suicide. Today, hundreds of families who have found each other over the internet are taking a dramatically different course. They are allowing their children to live in the gender they identify with in order to save them from a future of heartache and pain. Good evening. I'm Barbara Walters. Tonight we ask you to open your hearts and your minds as we bring you the extraordinary and very intimate struggle of 3 American families. Each has a child who feels trapped in the wrong body. The parents' decision to go public with their children came after much private soul-searching and months of discussions with us and with professionals who weighed the effect on the children. But these are courageous and loving parents who want nothing more than to see their children happy and accepted for who they are. This program contains occasional explicit language and a few details which some parents may not consider appropriate for young children. But we think most of you will be moved, perhaps, to greater understanding.
I think we're a very normal family.
On the surface, Scott and Renee Jennings and their 4 children are a typical American family. They could be your neighbors. Their youngest, we'll call her Jazz, is a 6-year-old who has been living with a secret until now.
Your child was born a boy, and now you call him a girl. Yes?
Yes.
Jazz is transgender and one of the youngest documented cases of an early transition from male to female.
This baby came out and basically said, this is who I am, I'm a girl.
I miss you.
From the moment he could speak, Jazz made it clear he wanted to wear a dress.
Say hello.
At only 15 months, he would unsnap his onesies to make it look like a dress.
If you said to Jazz, good boy, what would the reaction be?
Always, no, Mommy, good girl.
What did you think, Scott?
I think initially I was in a bit of denial.
What was the first time that you had any inkling that this little boy, Jazz, was different?
The day she came up to me, and I'll never forget it, Barbara, she said, Mommy, when's the good fairy going to come with her magic wand and change, my genitalia?
How old was Jazz then?
2.
At 2, Jazz came to you and said, when is a good fairy going to, I guess, take off my penis? Is
Right,
what she was
and
telling
make it into a vagina. Yes.
What did you feel?
Just numb, frozen.
Barbie baby.
they wanted to believe it would pass. After all, even their rowdy twin boys had painted their nails growing up. But Jazz kept gravitating to girl things, insisting that his penis was a mistake. When Renee opened this manual, used by mental health experts, she was shocked. Under gender identity disorder, Jazz met all 4 criteria for a diagnosis, including fantasizing about being the opposite sex. He was only 3, and even their pediatrician told them they had a serious problem.
She said, yes, I believe your child has gender identity disorder, and I recommend you go to a professional. My mouth opened up, and you literally had to scrape me off the floor.
You are certain, doctor, that Jazz is a girl?
I can't say biologically, chromosomally, hormonally, but yes, very clearly, gender identity, female.
To confirm the diagnosis, the Jennings brought Jazz to Dr. Marilyn Volker, a therapist who specializes in sex and gender issues.
How did you know that she was a transgendered child?
When we began to talk, and I used, whoops, the pronoun he, I was corrected. I'm a girl. I'm she.
Then Dr. Volker brought out anatomically correct male and female dolls.
I ask, and which are you like? Which is like your body? Jazz looks, and she says, this is me now. This is what I want.
No one knows why children like Jazz are transgender. There are only theories. Some scientists suggest that a hormone imbalance in their mother's womb gives these children's brains the wrong gender imprint. After the diagnosis, the Jennings explained the situation to their other children. In their home, they came to accept Jazz as a girl. There, he could wear a dress or dance as a ballerina. But in public, they kept his look more ambiguous or gender neutral, especially at preschool.
But this child wouldn't give up, was not happy until she could express herself indoors and outdoors.
Every day became a struggle. The preschool allowed Jazz to put on a pretty top, but he had to wear pants. Officially, Jazz remained a boy.
Hey, cutie, you going to show me how you dance?
When Jazz was 4 and a half, there was a dance recital. It was a disaster.
Disaster. She wasn't allowed to wear a tutu like the rest of the girls. And she just kind of stood there and snapped her finger and, you know, did tapping thing with the toe and just looked so sad. It was heartbreaking to watch, really heartbreaking.
The dance recital was a turning point. The Jennings then made the most difficult decision of their lives, to let their son become their daughter.
Happy birthday!
On his 5th birthday, Jazz wore a one-piece bathing suit. He was now she, and an innocent pool party became a coming out.
That was the first time in front of everybody. She, along with our consent, announced to the world that she was a girl.
Did Jazz's friends think she was a boy or a girl?
They referred to her as a boy, but kids are very accepting at that age. They believe what you tell them. She's a boy, but she wants to be a girl, so we let her wear a bathing suit.
And the bathing suit did not show a bulge?
Yeah, it did.
But that didn't matter?
Well, all the kids knew she was a biological boy.
But the Jennings soon found that while they accepted Jazz as a girl, others questioned their decision.
Who loves you? Oh, you do.
I always say that I'm in the front line. Jazz is protected because she's not getting the slack, because I'm putting out the fires before they burn her.
Is that why you're doing this interview? So that people will understand?
I want to pave the way for a better life for her and any trans kids. They didn't ask to be born this way.
When we come back, you will hear from 6-year-old Jazz, who has her own touching way of expressing her feelings.
I can be